been released. 2019, they were almost 9,000 students from the various institutions. Parents were coming, people were coming, and you know, when one does an exam at whatever level, what he also expects is to be given a research slip so that he or she can either advance to another level, or that particular paper can assist him or her to look for employment. So we formed a team in my office. Murat, you know, it was covering almost people from Kenya National Examination Council, KICD, and people from Tvet, and we set a date that by 14th of December, we had to make sure that we release the. Did we do so or we did not? So we did that. I think we were four days late because of certain logistical issues, but that one was done. You know, I'm one such person who you don't get me making a lot of noise. Because sometimes hata kwa maji bahali napiga kelele hapo, lakini pale na kimi ukienda hapo ndio hatari iko. So I'm not so much of a noise maker, but one thing that we try to do is to make sure that things work. The other thing that we found out is, my friends, there was something known as SIDAC, established under an Act of Parliament. Why the design of curriculum, even administration of exams, was supposed to be done by who? Director General? By SIDAC. Me, I was not there. You people raved it out to die. And then there was a resolution that the functions of this SIDAC be transferred, some of them to Kenya National Examination Council, others to KICD. When I engaged with my brothers in Kenya National Examination Council, plus KICD, I was able to come up with an understanding that that was a very, very critical and a very important institution for us to have in place. Following that, I've had an engagement with His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya. He did direct that we work out on something through the Chief Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, which we have done, and we are now awaiting presentation of a cabinet memo, which I will be able to present to the cabinet, and hopefully once it is back, then we will be able to reconstitute that particular body in order to focus on matters Tvet. In order that in case there are any challenges, because Kenya National Examination Council is already overburdened. KICD, we want them to concentrate on curriculum for primary and the secondary school. And if we have to get it right, we have to do the right things. And that's why on that particular one, I think we have made up a case. It's only a question of time, and then we have it in place. From among you, don't ever struggle. You know, as a career civil servant, when you come and we engage, what is it I'm looking at? Siangarii sura mzee, ati iko ndevu mingi. No. Any one of us can, hata mimi nikitaka kuwa naye sitakuwa tu. Hao namna gani? I'm looking at what is it you can do. What is your track? What is your track record? My peers. You know, I know there's a lot of agitation. Me, I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in men and women who can be able to deliver. And there are going to be many positions, because His Excellency the President gave us an opportunity. I think I have engaged the experts, including HR, the one we sent to Public Service Commission. You again said you are revising it a bit. That is something that will be able to give opportunities for you, because if there's anybody who is so passionate on this particular matter, actually the discussion each and every time we meet is not even so much on the basic. Of course, I give reports on what is happening on junior, secondary, and these other levels, the programs we have in higher education universities, but every time on the Tvet. And that's why even on Friday, in the Council of Governors meeting, which was chaired by His Excellency the President in Naivasha, they said the CS Education has to make a presentation on matters Tvet, which we did, and there was a very good engagement. Which, of course, you will be able to know the outcome as we move on, even the recommendations which came out of that. But overall, we are also saying, yes, we are two levels of government, but Kenya is a unitary state. A unitary state meaning we have one head of state, and if the national programs of Tvet are moving on well, and we find that vocational training centers are not achieving the objectives for which they were established, then we are still missing it. Meaning we have to go together, we have to move together, and even where within a radius of probably 2-3 kilometers, you find there's a Tvet, which is national, and there's a county vocational training center. Even sharing facilities, machines, infrastructure, you have to harmonize, because we are really the same government. How do you mentor even those people in vocational training centers as we engage further, as advised in that particular meeting? Once we have a meeting between myself and my officers, plus the chair and the members of the Education Committee from the other side of the Council of Governors. So as of now, kindly mentor those people where you can be able to avail facilities for them to use for the time being. Let us do so, because as I've said, our objective is the same. And once they succeed, we also succeed. Once we succeed and they fail, all of us, in a way, we are failing. So we should be able to look at it from the bigger picture. And His Excellency the President acceded to our request. And when I went to Public Service Commission, Murat, you were there with me? So, Monsieur, you were there with me when immediately, because I realized one other program in Tvet, when they were transferred from the Teacher Service Commission to Public Service Commission, midway, they wanted to be like the Israelites. When Moses was moving the children of Israel from Misri, from Egypt to Canaan, they reached midway and said, no, we think where we were better off. We were better off than where you are taking us. So let us get back. Huko kulikuwa masiwa, kulikuwa nyama, na hapa hakuna. So one other thing that I found out was that there were many complaints. People saying those we left behind in the Teachers Service Commission are better paid. We were ignored. And, you know, when you deal with the people who are not properly motivated, even at home, if you are a man and the mama is not properly motivated, what will happen? Utapata chakula? Hata wewe utaumia tu. So, upon that request, His Excellency the President was able to direct, and when we engaged Public Service Commission, I think I'm happy to announce that the letters now from Public Service Commission have come, and we have promoted 3,269 of you, 12 of whom will be Chief Principal Vocational and Technical Trainers, Job Group S. 317 of you will be Senior Principal Vocational and Technical Trainers, Job Group R. 1,373 of you will be Principal Vocational and Technical Trainer, Job Group P. 1,027 will also move the next grade of Principal Vocational and Technical Trainer, Job Group N. 231 will move from, I think, K to L to Senior Vocational and Technical Trainer. 309 grade of Assistant Vocational and Technical Trainer to be moved to Job Group K. So what is it we are doing? We are improving your terms, Chairman, and we will not stop there, because we even want to make it better as the economy continues to improve, and God willing, within some time, even those probably elsewhere will be saying, I think those who went to Public Service Commission are better off than, so don't complain so much, because His Excellency the President is taking proper care of you, because I assure you, if there's anywhere, if there's anything where he has a really soft spot, those of you who have engaged with him is on Mother's Tvet. And he's willing to go any length. And if you get a leakage, which I don't want to give at this stage, even the meeting where we had in Naivasha, if you get a governor or somebody who was there, he might give you some information on what he said, and for sure you will be able to confirm that we are heading towards the right direction. Chairman and the PS, I now also want to say the following, because it's better for us to get it right. His Excellency the President did open a digital app at Kapete. We are partnering with the Ministry of ICT, and they are funding several of our Tvets so that we have digital apps. Those of us who were there, and I think the principal of Kapete has done well, when we have exposed our young people to digital skills, because we are in a digital economy, what does it mean for us? That means that we expose them to employment opportunities, because there are so many online jobs. Indeed, when we were in Kapete and we were moving around with His Excellency the President, one of the students said he's earning how much per day? 13,000 and there's one who said sometimes he gets up to 40 in the form of Kenya money or in dollar? USD. And when I calculated, I found that actually, like that on 40,000 a day, even me standing here, but at the end of the day, what she earns in a month, I don't earn that much. I was almost getting enticed, saying, do I Do I reconsider or what do I do? So that is what we are saying, that we require many more of this. And His Excellency was even able to make it clear that when he went to America, he was able to engage many companies which are even willing to come and establish the establishments here. But like STEM courses, they say, how many engineers? How many? And then we have a little bit of a bottleneck. So that is why you will be seeing us coming to your areas. We are going to establish as many as possible so that as many Kenyans as possible get opportunities for this kind of employment, which is actually found in these countries, America and the rest. The other thing we have discussed, when I engaged with the Ambassador of Canada last week, we had a meeting with the Ambassador of Hungary, is on a dual certification. How do we make our students to get to international standards? And that's where I want each and every one of you, what is it we are lacking? How can we improve so that the certificates we are making and giving out meet the international standards? Why is it important for that to be done? It is important for it to be done because once we have that, then again, we have given thousands and thousands of opportunities to our young people, not only to work here in Kenya, Eastern Europe, Canada. There are opportunities that they cannot be able to fill. So what did we do when we had the meeting with the ambassador of Hungary? We agreed that starting with a few, two, he said they can afford sending 2 trainers. We start with the 2 of our institutions so that we now start getting where our certificates will get to that level of international standards. We want my peers and all of you, I say, to engage with certain other international institutions. I'm sure some principals here I was engaging. Maosa aliniambia ameenda Canada, sijui kama ilikuwa naenda kutembea au kuona nini. Lakini sasa, what you saw, how can you establish linkages so that through those linkages, we now are able to attain those international standards as quickly as possible. So that is something that each and every time, PS, we will be requiring to get reports which we will be able to share with His Excellency the President, because one other thing that he wants us to get to is that level. Because I tell you, the amount of money they earn in Hungary is so much. And you know the standard of living in Hungary is almost like Kenya. They said how much, Madam, you were with me in the meeting. Madam Esther P.S. Yes. The ambassador told us they earn how much. Murati, you were there. Murati, you could hear? Mbori? Ubora? On the minimum. Thank you, Madam P.S., you have remembered. On the minimum, 300,000. Who among you earns 300,000 here? So kindly, let us do all that it takes for us to get there. Because what kind of rigors will you give as a principal? What will it be that will be able to make you proud? It's exactly that this institution of mine, I was able to bring it to this level where now, international we, Rangati. Si ulikuwa Korea na president. Ilikuwa kuangalia maridadi tu. Si hiyo sasa nataka mlete hapa. Sasa hiyo mimi ndio nataka murete, and we will say, yes, where you require my support, where you require the support of the president, you know that is guaranteed. We have shortage, we are aware, and when we engaged again with the president, you know, I don't have to belabor on the way the economy is, but as far as it is, he agreed on 3,000, which will be, the recruitment will be first. I think we have done a letter to Public Service Commission, Madam, to commence with the recruitment. Is it 1,300 first? Yes, and as you have said, pedagogy is very key because when we recruit Madam, you make sure I will consult with the chairman of Public Service Commission, so that in the panel of interviewing, it's not for me to be there, but one of you will select the people who are competent in this, so that those who will be going for interview, you will be able to make sure that they are the proper people who have what it takes. And the other thing we are engaging on, which I told Madam, and if I engage and find I'm not getting answers, I know His Excellency the President will support me in this, is natural attrition and normal attrition, such that when one exits, either through retirement or resignation or through that which happens to every person is known as what? We don't like mentioning it. What is it? Yeah, such that we don't again leave those vacancies to be there for years until we come to re-advertise, such that we have a formula like what Teacher Service Commission has, because that money in any case is budgeted for, such that in the data bank, Public Service Commission can be able to go back to the data bank and recruit. That is why we want the Tarino to train as many people as possible, so that we have these people in the data bank. Now, the other thing that we are also doing, you know that His Excellency the President again has been pushing so hard, is that some of your institutions don't have equipment, and he made it very clear that the equipment has to be what you require. Yeah, tailor-made by you. But as you are board of management, what is it you require? It is not me and the PS to decide. And I think you have given us that, so that because National Treasury has done a letter to the ambassador of China, and we are trying to fast track so that we get the machines that you require. But again, the other thing is that even the ones we have, are they optimally utilized? Because the reports I get are very, very disappointing indeed, because the utilization level is actually 10%. 10%. And that is the other thing that we are also going to assess you on. Yes, where are these machines running there? Where it come from? There are machines which were brought in 2009. Those of you, you know, I pushed the minister last time very hard until they had to give some money, 32,500,000. When I was a member of parliament after leaving civil service, and the machines have been there, and the machines are capable of fabricating all kinds of spare parts that this country needs, and not only there, but various of your presses, the machines can fabricate and make spare parts of all kinds, hata ya kutengeneza ndege. Lakini mko hapo mnasiangalia tu. Jamani, hata ng'ombe naangalianga ng'ombe sura au naangalia maziwa ile ng'ombe natoa. Si hata ng'ombe kama itoe maziwa unapata iko hapo tu imenona namna ile, lakini hakuna maziwa, utafanya nini? Si utauza, utapeleka kijinjio. Sasa what do you want us to do with these machines? Because seriously, we should have production centers. When we had COVID, the principal was in Karoga. Who was that? You see here, I think it was Wasire. Wasire, it was you. You came up with an innovation. Yes, masks. And you also came up with ikitu ya maji and the sanitizer. Innovation, research. You have said about national polytechnics, which are going to have programs like universities. What kind of research, what kind of innovation are we getting from those institutions? You know, people, if you have read a little bit of people who have done great innovations, were they professors or what were they? What were they? This guy who discovered, known as Thomas who? When he went to school, the teacher told him, no, this one is intellectually disabled. No, he cannot interact with other children. The disability might spread. But the mother told him, no, my son, you are the very best. You are the very best. And they decided to believe on the mother, not the teacher. And all those who were being told that they were the best in his class never invented anything. But this guy, who was actually described as intellectually disabled, is the one who came up with the best discoveries and the inventions that the world has ever had. So don't say that the discoveries and the innovations have to be done in universities by professors. Mwangi, why do you underrate yourself? At the only thing you can invent in mtoto. Kweli hakuna kitu kingine wewe utaweza fikiria? Hao namna gani? So we have to do a little bit more. You know, when I went the other day, we had a function in Weston. Sometimes these prepared speeches which you have not read can embarrass you. So as I'm going through the speech, I say we have done very well. We exported spare parts to China worth 10 million Kenya shillings. Was that worth reading? That China is importing all the things here. We, with all this, the only spare parts we are able to export to China is what? Sasa kweli hii kichwa iko namna gani? Iko nini ndani hapo? We have the ability, we have the capacity and the capability like those other people. We should be able to do more and save the much needed foreign exchange. So kindly let us do more on that and the production centers in your areas. The chairman, you have mentioned about the courses. You know, some of you, because when you come, when we meet, you see me asking, percentage of technical, I found answer that one told me, oh, it is 50-50. Another one told me 40-60. And I said, we should be able to have 80-20. 20, or in the very minimum, 75, 25, because we require STEM, and that's why we are starting under instructions again, STEM courses, right from primary, secondary, because you cannot have them when you are up here. We have to start from unaanza mtu ukitaka kupanda ni kutoka chini. So we have not abolished business courses. What we are saying is that a greater percentage of courses have to be technical, because some of you were giving me a justification. And you do not know that you are dealing with a man who is speaking so many things as we interact. Kaniambia, as we get capitation, it is easier. Business courses support technical courses, so that is why you see the tendency of us sometimes being tempted to increase the numbers in the business, so that it's easier to deal with than technical. Yes, we are saying, like ICT is very critical, because technical without ICT in the 21st century, again, you will be overtaken. Analog is becoming a problem. So, ICT, very critical. And we are also saying entrepreneurial skills. Why entrepreneurial skills? Because they are men and women, rather than being job seekers, they can be job creators. And we want the people who can be able to create jobs. And once they have that knowledge, the opportunities in primary schools, the money from CDF, even now the money that we are getting from World Bank to want to build the laboratories in the junior secondary schools, the money will be everywhere. So once one has the technical skills, get the courage and say, yes, I can do it. And you start, and you will be awarded a contract. From there, rather than being just an employee, you become an employer. So I wanted to clarify on that, because I think there was quite a little bit of misunderstanding on that. Finally, Chairman, you have said about capitation is something that I'm aware of, and we are engaging on that. I know we have a program in Tvet, and we have a program in universities also. Same discussion that we had also in Naivasha. So as time goes on, I'm sure that we should be able to get a solution to this particular problem. We have institutions which are not complete PS. You gave me the list, and I think we were able to put up a case with National Treasury. I cannot remember the number, the PS knows better, but I remember the figure, requiring about 346 million, and hopefully in supplementary one, we should be able to get that money so that we give it to you to complete the incomplete institutions. We have done a letter to members of parliament, because His Excellency the President and the Kenyakwanza administration, part of our agenda is that we have to build a Tvet institution in each and every constituency. So there are 52 constituencies which don't have one, and we will also be doing them in phases. The amount of money that we get this coming financial year, and then after that, depending on the constituencies which would have responded earlier to the criteria that we have set, one with 10 acres of land minimum, one that has pumped in 10 million of CDF, etc., so that as we move on, we will be able to make sure that each and every constituency has one. Finally, my parting shot, my take home. the good people. My take home is this: please, let us work with all commitment. Let us work with all commitment. Let us work with passion. Let us set targets. Among performance contracting peers that you set with the principals, I think we are clear because we have had a discussion with you, and you know what we are looking at. And I know the 3 months, because we had this month of exams, we had junior secondary school, and so many other teachers which took a lot of my time. And as I said, now, if Muslims are allowed how many wives? Only 4. And what if it goes beyond 4? Are Google married? So the 3 directorates have 3 directorates, meaning probably I might be spending more time in Tvet because of where we want to be from now going on. You have heard me, praise, and let me say praise, because Madam, you have seen the way we work each and every week, each and every month. What is it we have done? Si kukaa hapa tu mwezi naisha unapokea mshahara, pengine kama wewe ni mtu yaka kinywaji unaenda unakunywa kinywaji unasema bwana tumefanya. Ask yourself, yes, among what I'm supposed to do for this country, what is it I've done? Have I achieved or have not? Because even you, without anybody assessing you, si unajua, you know, between you and God, yes, tunaendaga kanisa kila Jumamosi au Jumapili. Dhambi yako iko mtu anajua au ni wewe mwenyewe? Ni wewe na Mungu tu. Hata kama ni bibi ya mtu au ni bwana, you know, ni wewe mwenyewe unajijua. Unajijua unasema jameni, hata kama naenda kanisa mimi dhambi imejaa, lakini Mungu lakini Mungu niokoe au namna gani? Even in work, you know, you will know. You will know. Have I done it or have not? Have not. Am I failing the country? Even as CS, I'm able to assess myself each and every day of the week. I'm able to say, yes, my targets, I'm getting somewhere. And if you work like you have no targets, it's like one who is who? Walking to nowhere. When you are walking to nowhere, can you ever reach your destination? Si utapotea tu kwa sababu wewe una pahali unaenda. So kindly take your assignments seriously, because whatever we want to achieve as a country, you see the president so passionate. And with the kind of support, if we give him the support, particularly all of us here, Kenya will be able to move from a third world country to a first world country. And with those many remarks, I would have stayed until the whole day, but you know, the program overseas, you run the program for yourself, it is sometimes programmed for you. So at the 6, my boss, the deputy president, called me, we had a discussion in his office, and then said, okay, if you are going to that meeting, then we postponed the other meeting up to 11. And what time is it now? Kwa hivyo mmenisamea nikimbia nisifutwe kazi. So good people will be coming, and we will be engaging more and more. I'm one of you because basically I'm a career civil servant. some people we worked with here, a number of them, even when I was Minister of Trade, this man here, who is older than me, but he continues growing younger, known as Mosiori. We were together in Minister of Trade, and quite a number, because that is what we have done over the years. So I wish you well. Kindly, my peers will be able to inform me about the discussion and any resolution that you make from this meeting. Once you are done, the peers will be able to share the same with me, because we are here to serve, and we are here to make sure that we give you the necessary facilitation. You have mentioned about the deputy principals. PS, you have mentioned about the registrars. Have it done so that we know the numbers we require, and then from there we will be able to start engaging with Public Service Commission, because you know, once you give me something na nasikia naingia, be assured that lazima nisuku, whether the answer will be yes or no, but lazima nisukume. And when I'm persuaded, I don't accept the no for an answer. I don't accept the no for an answer. I engage here, and then if I say it is a no, I go. So, and I think with the kind of support I've told you we have, and once you also do well, I'm sure that boss for all of us is there to support you, is there to support all of us. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you.